and welcome to Studio Eriksdotter. My name is Erica, and in this video I'm going to share with you how to do those very thin lines. And to do that, this tutorial will focus in on Corky's whiskers, and this will show you just by painting them how they are done. So sit back, enjoy. I hope you take away joy and inspiration, if nothing else. So I've started blending raw umber and black. So, and I'm using a chisel blender number 2. And I'm just making sure that I have blended the paint, and that it's not too wet, not too much paint on it, just enough. And we're just gonna find where this first piece of whisker, and this is not at all a good one. It had already dried up. So we'll do another try. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm cleaning off my brush, I'm wiping it off, and then I'm going back in. This line is very good to begin with, but very pleased with this, but I want to make sure that I just clean it up a little bit. Before we add a little bit more. If you paid attention to a whisker, you know that in the beginning they're a little thicker and then they thin out. So we're gonna thin this part out a little bit while we still have the opportunity. And sometimes they have a different light to them, so the light hits them. So for example, you can take an even thinner brush. Let me see if I have a thinner brush. That's a number 2 too. I just have a bunch of number 2s. Okay, well, we can blend some unbleached white and add that in here. It just gives another dimension to that whisker. Okay, and we'll continue. Another trick of doing finer lines is actually to have a wet brush and just do a very, very thin layer thin line. You're barely touching the canvas, and you just want to make sure that you're not at the end, like I just did, smudged it a little bit. But you just wipe that off with a clean brush, thin it out. And so the purpose of that is that this line is now guiding you. You can wait for it to dry, and you can go back at it, and now you know, oh, okay, so I know that that's the line, so I'll just paint a little bit, and that line will kind of help you stay steady. I support myself always with my pinky right here, but when it's really finer lines, I'm actually, my pinky is folded in, and I'm using it to kind of support myself on the canvas. That's the good thing with acrylic paint. It dries quickly, so you don't have to worry about smudging anything. I have a reference photo. I have several reference photos, but this is guiding me where the whiskers are. And some of these whiskers are just popping out of the fur that is already hanging here. So then you have to kind of anchor it. So you have to add it in and then make sure that it makes sense that it popped out there. Including that this one has also a nice ending to it. Clean that one up. Right. So what I mean by that is I take a little bit of white and some thicker titanium white and a softer soft body acrylic unbleached, and I'm just gonna add a little piece of strain of hair here. Make sure that it's popping out. So as you can see, I'm also taking advantage of just emphasizing a couple of areas since I'm using the same type of of paint blend. And I had purposely saved this so I could use this when I was doing the whiskers. And whiskers are clearly these guys right here. However, there's chin hair or a little beard that that also exist with dogs. So we want to make sure that they're also included. And all the tiny hairs that are coming in here. Also, to stabilize myself, I'm using an arm rest. So I will show you that. It's hooked up to my easel, so sometimes when I let go of that, the easel moves a little bit. And these are such fine details. I don't know if you, or small brush strokes. I hope you can catch them on camera. Just add a little bit of black here just so we can get the depth of the mouth. So I'm just mixing, and then if I think it's too thick in areas, I'll go back with no paint. Just want to make sure that I'm detailed when I do that as well. So what I was just doing that was not captured is I'm adding a line, I'm adding highlights to some of the whiskers. So some of the whiskers are black and raw umber, and some of them are getting the light reflected off of them. So the light is coming from above, so the light will be on the top of the whisker. So I'm just going in and adding white, and where I need to, I'm adding black again under the whisker. I've also added a couple of strands of hairs that are going over the whiskers, so just keep that in mind that you want to have dimension to the whisker as well. I'm going to add one whisker here actually, and I'm going to do it with white. And then I'm going back in with some black. And that is too much, so I'm going to clean it. I'm going to go back with a little bit of white. I think I'm going to give this one also a little bit of white. This one is kind of just hiding a little bit in the background. Okay.